Crockett, design engineer at New England Wire. Today we'd like to show you around our material analysis testing lab. We utilize state-of-the-art equipment and instrumentation to ensure compliance and provide the highest quality products. We work closely with customers to co-develop test methods for validation programs and first article production. Let's take a look.
The Scanning Electron Microscope, or SEM, enables observation of samples at far higher magnification than is possible with optical microscopy. The SEM is also equipped with an energy dispersive spectrometer, or EDS. The EDS uses characteristic X-ray emissions to indicate which elements are present in the sample and their relative amounts. New England Wire Technologies uses the SEM EDS for failure analysis, for example to aid in the examination of wire breaks, contaminant identification, and identification of materials in customer samples. Here we see an example of what can be observed using the SEM with EDS mapping on a sample that was prepared using the CCP. Wire breaks were observed during drawing. The structure of the breaks indicated that they were most likely caused by inclusions. An intact inclusion was located near one of the breaks. The inclusion was cross-sectioned and mapped via EDS, revealing that the inclusion was composed of iron and chromium. The Cooling Cross-Section Polisher, or CCP, uses an argon beam to finely mill samples for better imaging in the SEM. The Vapor Pro is a moisture analyzer. It selectively measures the moisture content of extrusion compounds and fibers. Absorbed moisture can cause both processing difficulty and defects in the final product. New England Wire Technologies uses the Vapor Pro to aid in the development of appropriate drying conditions for each step of manufacturing. The Fourier Transform Infrared Spectrophotometer, or FTIR, uses characteristic bond vibrations in conjunction with both internal and commercial libraries to identify compounds. New England Wire Technologies uses the FTIR to aid in the identification of materials used in customer samples. It is also used to estimate the relative concentrations of substances and to examine contaminants. The Thermogravimetric Analyzer, or TGA, monitors sample mass as a function of time and temperature. The sample can be run in either air or nitrogen. New England Wire Technologies uses the TGA to determine the volatile content of material, at what temperature and rate volatilization takes place, to examine the decomposition and oxidation of materials, and to determine the residual mass after the sample has been reduced to ash, which can be an indicator of inorganic content like mineral fill. This information aids in identification of customer samples as well as new product and process development. The Rheometer is used to examine mechanical properties of polymeric materials. New England Wire Technologies utilizes the Rheometer to study the flow characteristics of polymer melts and solutions, characterize curing and cross-linking systems, and probe the behavior of finished jackets with temperature and fluid immersion. The Differential Scanning Calorimeter, or DSC, measures heat flow into or out of a sample. It is used to measure heat capacity, exothermic or endothermic reactions, and thermodynamic transitions like melting or the glass transition. It is used to aid in the selection of processing conditions during development and to aid in identifying thermoplastic insulation materials by melt point. The autoclave is a pressurized steam heater with control of cycle time, temperature, pressure, and cycle count. It is used to replicate customer conditions, for example sterilization cycles, and to carry out certain accelerated aging tests. The Xray fluorescence analyzer, or XRF, is used to aid in sample identification for bulk samples. The XRF uses characteristic X-ray emissions to indicate which elements are present in a sample and their relative amounts. It works on a similar principle to the EDS, but the excitation is carried out by X-rays instead of an electron beam.
We hope you enjoyed a peek inside our facility. If you have any questions or need assistance with creating your testing methods, please contact us at newenglandwire.com.